channel Sebastian C. I know it's been really long, but times have been hard, I guess, for everyone. A little backstory into today's video. Adam Neely is a music theorist, educator, composer, and a bass player, and he has the most amazing YouTube channel. Definitely go and check out his stuff. And on there he has a series of videos where he'll get together with a bunch of really talented musicians, and they'll take a scale and try to write music in it that sounds completely different from what you'd expect from that scale. So in the past they have taken Locrian and tried to make it sound pretty. They have taken Lydian and tried to make it sound ugly. And last week's challenge was to take Phrygian and try to make it sound happy. So in the intro you heard my interpretation of trying to make happy music using the Phrygian mode. So Phrygian is the third mode of the diatonic major scale. The intervals starting from the root are the root, minor second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh, and back to the root at the octave. I played the intro in the D sharp Phrygian scale, and the notes of that scale are D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, and back to D sharp. So it uses 5 sharps, the same as the B major scale, and sure enough, D sharp is the third degree of the B major scale. To break down how I wrote the intro, I'll try to analyze the music from 3 different aspects: the rhythm, melody, and the harmony. Starting with the rhythm, the music is written in 12/8, which intrinsically has a lot more movement than something like 4/4. The tempo is also pretty high, around 140 to 150 BPM, and both these factors add to the joyous sound of the music. The drums play straight 8 notes, while the guitar plays a syncopated swinging pattern. The interplay between the two also creates a sound that is definitely brighter than what you'd expect from Phrygian. There's also a rhythmic surprise in the form of a 6/8 bar at the end of the themes that throws off the listener and gives the music an exciting and rushed feel. Now moving on to the harmony, and I'll be covering the harmony before the melody because that's how I wrote the music. The theme starts with a 4-bar cyclic progression, the kind commonly seen in rock music. It starts with a 1 minor, flat 2nd major, flat 6th major, flat 3 major progression that comes back to the root using the flat 2nd major as a passing chord. Because the cycles start with the 1 minor, the sound is pretty firmly tethered to the Phrygian sound, but at the same time all the other chords are major chords, trying to ensure that the sound doesn't get too dark. For heading into the B section, I use a dominant chord on the 5th degree, which isn't really part of the Phrygian scale and doesn't add much to the happiness quotient of the music either, but I just wanted to add some harmonic diversity. The B section uses alternating major and minor chords on the flat 6th, flat 2nd, and flat 3rd degrees, alternating with the 1 minor chord, similarly keeping it rooted to the Phrygian sound while making sure that it does not get too dark like I did in the theme. The B section ends with a 4 minor chord that leads up to a 5 dominant chord, ending the B section the same way that I started it. Getting back to the theme, I play the same progression that I played at the onset and end the music with a D sharp minor, flat 9, flat 13 chord. It's one of the most beautiful chords you can find in Phrygian, and in my opinion was the perfect way to end this progression. Now getting to the melody, I wanted to use a pentatonic pattern built on the 5th degree of the minor pentatonic scale, creating this Phrygian pentatonic sort of sound. And the intervals for that scale were the root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, minor 6th, minor 7th, and octave. The phrasing of the melody also had sort of an exotic influence. I tried to take some influences from Indian music, tried to play a lot of notes together and very fast, making sure I don't linger too much on the half step between the root and the flat 2nd, and the 5th and the minor 6th. Basically trying to avoid the typical mysterious and suspenseful sound that Phrygian has to offer. One final aspect that I think made an impact on the way the music sounded were the tones that I chose. The drums had a pretty trebly sound, making the music sound brighter. The rhythm guitar parts were very clean with some reverb and delay. I think that if the same progression was played with a lot of gain, it wouldn't have sounded so clean. For the lead guitar, I did have a lot of gain on it, but I made sure that the gain tones were smooth and weren't bitey or harsh. So that was my take on writing happy music using the Phrygian mode. If you enjoy my stuff, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep practicing.